Most new mortgage brokers expect a smooth transition, studying the syllabus, past the exams, starting to advise, okay? But that's not how it feels in practice. Definitely not how it feels. There is a gap between studying CeMAP and doing the job, and that is where most people feel overwhelmed. Not because they're incapable, but because the two experiences are fundamentally different. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what CeMAP actually prepares you for, what the real job involves day to day, and why the gap feels way bigger than expected. What is studying CeMAP actually designed to teach you? You see, CeMAP is about knowledge and rules, okay? It teaches you how mortgage brokers work in principle, the regulatory framework they operate in, the product types and structures that are available, and the compliance and requirements obligations. This stuff is essential to know, but because without it, you cannot advise at all. But CeMAP is theoretical by design. It simplifies scenarios so concepts are clear and testable. But that's its strength, of course, but it's also its limitation. So what does doing the job actually involve? You see, the job itself isn't theoretical. It's messy, it's emotional, it's unpredictable. Day-to-day, advising involves clients who are stressed, unsure, conflicted. It has incomplete information and changing circumstances, lenders interpreting the same case completely different, decisions that don't fit neatly into the exam examples. See, that's where many new mortgage brokers feel a big shock. They know the rules, but they're learning how to apply the judgment within them. This is why the gap feels so big at first. The gap isn't a failure, it's a normal learning curve. CeMAP gives you knowledge, yes it does, but the job, it requires judgment, communication, prioritization, and more importantly, confidence. And those skills, they're not examinable. You can't do a test for them. They are built through exposure, repetition, supervision by people who already know the job. That's why the early months feel uncomfortable and sometimes scary, because you're developing skills that you can't be revised for from a book. So then how do you bridge that gap properly? Well, the gap closes fastest when learning is structured. That usually looks like working under supervision, sitting in on real client calls, handling admin and casework accurately, and reviewing decisions with experienced advisors who know what they're doing. This is where theory becomes instinct. You stop thinking about what's the rule and you start thinking about what's the right outcome here. That shift, it does take time, and that is okay. But let's talk about why this phase matters more than you think. Many new mortgage brokers want to rush past this stage. They want to feel confident quickly, and that makes sense. But this phase is where the habits are formed. This is where you learn how to structure conversations, set expectations, handle uncertainty, communicate under pressure. All of this starts right here, and getting this wrong early creates problems later down the line. Getting it right, though, makes everything so much easier. See, the fact that there's differences between studying CeMAP and actually doing the job, it's not a sign that you're behind. It's proof that you're not cut out for the job, something only experience can do, and a reason to panic at all. It's not. It's a normal part of becoming a competent mortgage advisor. The real lesson here is that CeMAP does teach you what's allowed. The job, however, teaches you what works. New mortgage brokers who succeed don't expect instant confidence. They respect the learning curve and they lean into it. Once judgment catches up with knowledge, the job stops feeling intimidating and starts feeling natural, and that's where the real learning starts to pay off. Now, if you want to know what happens in your first week as a mortgage advisor, you want to check out this video on screen where I do a little bit of a deep dive into that one. Give it a click.